was funny. The whole, the entire year I had, said, well, let's kamikaze, let's squib, let's do something, and I know I've dished out a ration of, grief because we always practice it, we never did it.
Look at Sweep. And they got a big old guy from Cincinnati over there. No, you're right. Yeah. Right.
So when we get
so people try to defend it.
And then we got Sweep.
Right. Yeah.
The sweep kick is an onside kick where I kick the ball on one side and it spins like this over to the sideline. Before the game, Ellis got all the kickoff team together and we were kind of setting up sweep, showing them kamikaze, and that's just where we kick the ball straight ahead.
Coach Ellis obviously knew at the beginning of the game, that's why he was practicing kamikaze at the beginning of the game to kind of set that up. He knew that we could do the sweep. We practiced it every day in practice just about, and we've never used it until then.
We have been working on kamikaze, and one of their coaches arrived and goes and sits on the sideline there, and he's watching our kids warm up. And I grabbed Kyle and I said, Kyle, let's work on kamikaze here. I want him to see it. I want them to try to defend it. And that will open up sweep for us. And he says, okay. So we grabbed some kids that aren't even on the kickoff team and said, just line up here, guys. And they're like, what do we do? And I said, just line up. We're going to kick the ball. And Kyle goes and tries to kick kamikaze. And he wasn't kicking it very well. It was bouncing all around and all this. And he says, I'm sorry, Coach. I said, don't worry. I just want this guy to see it. And so we kicked it a few times and went off the field, went into the locker room, and Coach Wells is standing over on the sideline. And the guy that had been watching us walks over, sets down the ball and kicks kamikaze correctly. And he looks at Coach Wells and he says, that's the way you do it, Coach. So Wells tells me the story. And I thought, okay, good. And then they came out and defended it.
Sure enough, we come out of the locker room and I see all the Niwot guys, their return team, all bunched up in the middle. And I turn back and I go, hey guys, Ellis is gonna call sweep here. And I go, no, he's not. He's not gonna call sweep.
Get up in the booth and put my headset on and it became reality. I mean, all of a sudden, yeah, we're gonna sweep it. We're gonna sweep it. And Todd says it's a go. Daryl says it's go. So we're not holding, we're not holding back.
I was kind of pumped because I knew that if I could get the kick there, then we'd get the ball. And turned around and told them sweep and had a big grin on my face. And everybody was ready. We had done it in practice all the time, and it all worked out, and that gave us the most confidence in the world to win that game. And momentum was definitely on our side after that.
And said, okay, so we went with the sweep kick to start the second half, and they thought, even if you look at the newspaper articles, they thought it was a fluke. They thought that Kyle just kicked it poorly like he had in the beginning, before the game. It wasn't intended to go over there. They didn't even defend it the rest of the game. We could have kicked it again. That's what you practice. You just practice for it. They were baited into it, so you just go. I mean, I was so elated for our kids. I was so glad that the coaches had agreed that we should do that. It was the right decision, and gosh, it's just jubilation when you practice all year and now you get to do it.
What a poignant moment in the season was. I mean, they had just scored and they had thought they had some momentum. They felt they had gotten back in the game, and we do that, and then I just kind of sucked the life right out of them, and we go down and we go down and we score on Jelly, and that's just kind of one of those little, you always talk about defining moments, and it was just, it was just so apropos, just so poetic that the whole season was just built on all these different defining moments, and it was just finally our time.
Plays was capped off by a Freeman touchdown. It's an onside kick, rolling. Can't tell if it's out of bounds or not. The Bears are jumping up and down. They've got the ball.
Oh, and they split it.
And I think they're going to get it. And something that Rifle has been setting up all year. A play finally works.
Over for Niwot, stop the drive deep in Niwot territory. Onside kick! It goes 10 yards! Rifle! Got it! Rifle got it!
Michael,
Onside kick!
I've got to tell you, you know, I got here when they arrived today, and the first thing they did is they walked out to the field and they practiced the onside kick for about 20 minutes. The coaches were aware of it. The coaches were telling the players. You'd think they would have been ready for that because they definitely knew about it.
Yeah, well, here, watch them come up now. They're going to keep going the whole way. Now watch, Niwot has nobody out there covering the side. And Rifle springs one that Niwot's coaches and special teams should have seen coming.
I wanted to go up after the game and say, Coach, that's how you kick it.